And a very good evening, good day everybody. It is Thursday, August the 20th, 2026, 5:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this is a first for me, first for my channel. I am taking the EXO Mascouche line to Mascouche. It's going to be my first time going to Mascouche and my first time riding this train line all the way to Mascouche. This is Pointe-aux-Trembles. This is the furthest I've ever taken this train. So from the moment I started recording, just as we left the station, this is pretty much history for me, because there's not many places or parts of transit in the area that I haven't taken, at least not in the Montreal region. But this is one place that I haven't been, which is Mascouche. As well as Repentigny, at least to visit and check out. So this is going to be about half an hour, this train ride. We have 3 stops to go, so we're going to get off at Mascouche, as I said. It's going to be interesting because there's some different areas on this ride that are quite unique. We're going to be passing a lot of nature, hopefully. And I've seen other videos of the rides on this line, and yeah, it's quite nice. So this is the eastern tip of the island of Montreal. We're at the eastern tip of the island of Montreal. So we're on a Bombardier MultiLevel train, wagon number 3048. And we are about to go over the river now. I believe it's the Rivière-des-Prairies, where it meets back up with the St. Lawrence River, technically. The Rivière-des-Prairies runs between the island of Montreal and the island of Laval, and the Emilio River runs between the island of Laval and the North Shore. But technically it's all the St. Lawrence River, and of course the St. Lawrence River, part of it, runs between Montreal and the South Shore. But it's all technically part of the St. Lawrence River. It just forks off into 3 different routes and then joins again after the island of Montreal. So this line does share the line with freight trains. It's also a Via Rail line, the Jonquière line, I believe. It looks like we're stopping here for a moment, so I'm just going to pause the video. Probably another freight train or something. So we'll resume recording in a moment. Alright, so we're back in motion here. So that's one of the disadvantages of, sharing a line with other trains, whether it's freight trains or other passenger trains, which is the case here. Sharing this train line with freight trains, Via Rail trains. And the disadvantage, of course, is there's literally traffic on those lines and traffic jams, which is something you don't have on the REM. So it should be going over the river very soon. And just so you know, we're going in the east direction. I started the ride at Côte-de-Liesse station. I decided to start filming this portion of the ride because I believe I already have a couple of videos filming through Montreal. Now remember, there was a big detour on the Mascouche line, and I was there the last night of that detour filming the train ride with some other transit fans. The detour used to run between Central Station, Gare Centrale, and would wrap around. It would go through basically southwest Montreal, St. Henry, then curve up Lachine, Côte Saint-Luc, and make its way east eventually. And originally the Mascouche line shared the Mont Royal tunnel with the Deux-Montagnes line, but when the Deux-Montagnes line got converted to the REM, that's when they shut down the Mont Royal tunnel to do work. So obviously no trains could go by. Here's a nice rail crossing, by the way. This is a nature park that I want to do a couple of walking videos in. So anyways, yeah, they closed the Mont Royal tunnel, so there was no way for this train to get around to Mascouche. And it used to do that big detour from Gare Centrale going the other way, basically taking the same train tracks as the Mont Saint Hilaire line to a certain extent, and like I said, curving around eventually, going through the Taschereau yards and whatnot until it eventually headed east and continued to Mascouche. So now we have Côte de Liesse REM station, and that is where the Côte de Liesse EXO station is, and simply branches off onto this line here. Nice little curve, very fast. It has its own dedicated train track, and they store the locomotives and trains at the Côte de Liesse station often. So I was glad to be part of the detour when the Mascouche line was doing that long extra trip. The detour, that was really scenic as well, and it was fun being a part of the last ride for that. Yeah, so these are nice areas to do a bit of rail fanning in. I haven't personally done any rail fanning in this area here, but I know Alton McFall has Cool Trains of Montreal, aka Grant. So we're going in the east direction, as I said, but we're facing more towards the south right now. And yeah, Repentigny is the next station, so it should get more interesting as we go along. Right now it's just typical houses and whatnot. We're also very close to the water treatment plant, the main water treatment plant in Montreal. So I'll be taking a bus back, the EXO 30, Route 30, from Repentigny. That I think is going to be going all the way to Radisson Metro. Oh, there's the 487 bus. So this is a nice rail crossing here to rail fan as well. There's the STM, Montreal STM 487. So I thought we were slightly closer to the river than we are. I guess Pointe-aux-Trembles station is more inland than I realized, which is okay. So just to update you guys, now it's saying we should be getting there in 24 minutes. So any stops we do, I'll pause the video so it saves time. Looks like we're coming up to another stop here, maybe. You can sort of see the leaves are starting to get a little lighter as we approach autumn. Still lots of meteorological summer left though. So another thing I wanted to mention about this line, the Repentigny line, I believe it's the newest EXO line technically. Oh, we're coming to a stop again here. So I'll pause the video and resume when we start going in motion again. Alright, so it was about maybe 5 minutes or so that we were stopped there. So I'm using the wide angle camera, by the way, wide angle lens. Here's the normal one, 1x. There's the wide angle one. There's 2x. So, you know, as somebody that's just taking this train sort of for pleasure right now, also to document it, I mean, we've stopped at least twice so far for 5-10 minutes. So, I mean, for somebody that depends on this train line, I could imagine it could be frustrating, maybe getting to and from work or school if you live off of the island in this direction. But I guess it's better than nothing, right? Okay, here we are getting to the river now. I can see the road sign. I believe this is the beginning of Gwen Boulevard around here, the eastern end of Gwen Boulevard. Of course, Gwen Boulevard goes all the way into technically Senville, turns into Senville Road, and then goes through Saint Anne de Bellevue, turns into Lakeshore Road. And in Saint Anne de Bellevue, it's Saint Anne Boulevard, if you want to technically think of it that way. So here we are, we got the river, guys. So again, we're facing south. Yeah, and you can see right away we're sort of in the country. There's some farm buildings, so you can see the change of landscape, change of scenery. So there's the St. Lawrence River. And of course this river flows in the east direction, eventually into the Atlantic Ocean. I forgot what station is between Repentigny and Mascouche. There's a second station. Oh, we're picking up some decent speed. There we go. Very nice area here, Repentigny. Actually, this is where there was a train derailment a couple of weeks ago. Don't remember where exactly it was, but it was around this spot. This is where the train derailment was here in Repentigny. It was a freight train. right around here somewhere. So they attributed that derailment to the heat and track defects. No major damage or injuries, but you know, it just goes to show you what can happen with railways. And especially, I mean, if you're a resident living with a train line literally right in your backyard, I can see why it could be a bit of a concern. So we're at CN-CTC Repentigny, Joliet subdivision. So here we are in CN Repentigny. So I think Repentigny is Zone C, Mascouche is Zone D. We're going to find out soon what that other station is. The next one. I don't know if you guys can hear the tones for the doors closing. You can kind of see our locomotive, by the way, in the reflection there. Sort of make it out. There it is. I've got one of the older style locomotives, which I like. There you go, you can see our train in the reflection right there. Alright, let's find out what the next station is here. Go back to the wide angle camera. Looks like we have a split here. Track split. What's this? A tunnel? Oh, it's a underpass. Again, I am not familiar with this area at all, other than just... Oh, Terrebonne, of course, Terrebonne station. Oh, interesting. We have this wall here on this side, but nothing on this side. Curious about that, I wonder why. Oh yes, I remember seeing other videos of the Mascouche train ride. I remember seeing this. I think it has something to do with a testing facility for munition or rocket fuel or something, or I don't know exactly the details, but it's to protect the train from getting hit by something. I remember reading about it. So what I'll do, I'll focus the camera out this side for a bit, so it's a little more interesting. Oh, there we go, we're back. Wow, what a beautiful spot. So now we have the sun on this side. Don't ask me what way we're facing now, because I have no idea, but as they say, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So I guess that's the west right there. Oh, this is really beautiful. Hey guys, I'm trying to fix the camera here because it wants to focus on the dirt. There we go. Sometimes smart cameras, smartphones are stupid. So this is a problem now because we got the sun facing the camera. Okay, here we are. Oh, this is scenic. This reminds me of the Hudson part of the Vaudreuil-Hudson line. Yeah. Look at that, eh? Beautiful. So Terrebonne station is next. Terrebonne. I've been there before. Not the actual station, but the town. By the way, shout out to any viewers that are in this area. I think there's a couple of you guys out there from this point, this part of town. Terrebonne, Mascouche, Repentigny.
Terrebonne.
Oh, a beautiful day for a train ride. So I've been planning to do this for the longest time and I just kept putting it off. And here's the funny story of how I decided to do this tonight. Last night I went to La Prairie to film a freight train, and instead of using my evening pass, which of course evening passes and weekend passes, they cover A, B, C, D, all zones, all modes of transit. What ended up happening is I used my virtual fare on my phone to pay. Of course, that's the new feature. I've been a tester for EXO for a while now, for about a year or so. I got an early look at the system and everything, so now it's coming out to the public, the virtual fares. But anyway, what happened was instead of selecting an evening pass, I ended up selecting a 24-hour ABCD pass that I had on my phone. And then I realized, you know what, this is going to go to waste. But then I decided, you know what, I'll just go right from work today, since I activated the pass at around 7:30 last night, because it's activated the second you scan it on a train or a bus or a metro or whatever, RAM. As soon as you scan it, it becomes active. It's not when you buy it, it's when you actually use it. That's when it becomes activated. So anyway, I activated it around 7:30 when I boarded the 6:51 bus, I believe, going from Panama to La Prairie. And then I realized, you know what, it's still active now because it hasn't been 24 hours yet. So I'm going to be able to fit this train ride into the pass, and also the bus ride back to Montreal, which I'll probably film as well. Alright, so it's 25 minutes almost we've been filming. It says we have 9 minutes left till we get to Mascouche. So I guess this is a long stretch of track between Terrebonne and Mascouche station. So I guess between Terrebonne station and Mascouche station there's a lot of land. Yeah, very happy I got to film this ride today. finally got it done. And I think this concludes every EXO line that I've done from end to end. Definitely done Vaudreuil Hudson from end to end, Lucien Lallier to Vaudreuil. I never took it to Hudson. Oh yeah, I have taken it to Hudson. So I've taken it to Hudson, between Lucien Lallier and Hudson. Never took it to Rigaud. It used to be known as the Hudson Rigaud line, I believe. No more trains going to Rigaud, unfortunately, for the last decade or so, maybe. So I did the whole line, at least from between Lucien Lallier and Hudson, both directions. Mont Saint Hilaire I did all the way, I believe, as well. From Gare Centrale to Mont Saint Hilaire. Saint Jerome I definitely have done from Lucien Lallier to Saint Jerome and back. And now we got the Mascouche line. I haven't done the Mascouche line from Mascouche to Côte-de-Liesse station, but so this is near Rodin, Laval. If you want to know on the map where we are, just check a map out. We're basically northeast of Montreal right now. So we're sort of northeast of the island of Montreal, and I think east of Laval. Could be wrong, but just giving an approximate geographical idea of where we are. That is Saint Hubert Distribution Center. You know, you think they would be in Saint Hubert on the South Shore, but nope. So I see a sign here telling you to get to Rodin, take one of the exits or go in a certain direction. So yeah, definitely we're out here in, I guess does this count as the Laurentians? There's the Mondu Distribution Center. That's for the pet supply store. I'll show you the sign here. Give you an idea of what it looks like. Oh, we're going over the highway now. So yeah, we're officially in Mascouche. I don't know if you can see the sign there. It looks like somebody's working on it, ironically. Of course, if you ever want to know where I am at a specific point in my videos, you can just Google, you know, for example, Mondu Distribution Center, see where it is on the map. Oh, okay, it's right beside that point on the railway line. Look for the geographical landmarks, as I call them. So I thought the ride would be about 29 minutes. It's already 29 minutes, so it's going to go over 30 minutes probably, which is fine. Just checking here. It says we're going to arrive in 1 minute, so we're almost there. So the station's right around here. Yeah, right here. You see the parking lot, I think. No, it's not here yet. We're almost there. Based on what the transit app's telling me. So what I'll do when I get off the train, I'll keep filming so you guys can see what it's like here. Oh, we got a dead end there of a track. We have, oh wow, beautiful rail yard here. Is this all for EXO trains? I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, this must all be for Mascouche trains. Sort of like a Côte de Liesse, but in the Mascouche area. Mascouche, and maybe this is a train wash here? Sort of like the Rem house? I don't know. Alright guys, so we've made it to Mascouche. History, yeah man. Another video, another place mapped. Alright guys, hang on, I'm gonna get off the train. Alright, we've made it. There's the locomotive we won, 1342. Now there are trains going back to Montreal, but I'm not sure the exact schedule. But anyways, there you go guys, we made it to Mascouche, a new place on the map. So thanks for watching as always. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bells, more videos to come.